What's going on, Island Hoppers? Today we're coming to you from Raleigh, North Carolina. Let's do it. Now, in this Raleigh travel guide, we're going to show you guys around the downtown area, the historic buildings of Raleigh. Now, I will say this, it is a modern city and keeps getting more and more modern, with lots of tech companies building out here, as you will see and hear as this travel guide goes on. So yes, there is history here, but do keep in mind it is a modern city and it's growing fast. Here is a look at the hotel room we stayed at, the Sheraton in downtown. It was about $115 a night for a room just like this. So if you guys are looking for hotel rooms, I would say for a room just like this, $115, $125 during the week. Maybe it goes up during the weekend, but that's the going rate for a pretty nice name brand franchise hotel in Raleigh. So Raleigh is the second biggest city in North Carolina, behind Charlotte. Now, the Raleigh-Durham metropolitan area has a population over 1 million people, but here in Raleigh, it is about 500,000. Let's keep going. Ah, Raleigh, City of Oaks. I wonder why. For those of you who've been to North Carolina before, you know that it's very green. I mean, it's an emerald state, right? But Raleigh is one of those cities that feels like you're living inside of a garden, even though you're in a concrete jungle, if that makes sense. So do be getting used to being around a lot of greenery. So if you're from a place like Vegas or LA or Phoenix and you're coming out to North Carolina, you're going to be surprised at just how green Raleigh really is. All right, guys, we're down here in City Market. We're gonna go inside Woody's at City Market. It's a bar, a grill. They have a couple different restaurants down here in this area known as City Market. So let's go see what kind of food we can get. Big old messy burger. That chili is good. So here we have some local sweet tea. So this is black tea with real cane sugar. Very tasty, refreshing. So this here is called Pink Lemonade. It is created by one of the Carolina Hurricane hockey players. And he likes pink lemonade and vodka, so that's why they created this shot. So when you come out here, I think it's 60 proof. Yeah, so we'll just take a look around the area around City Market. You can see the cobblestone road, and then we'll head over towards the old State House. Now, the time we were here was a Tuesday afternoon in spring, around about 1 o'clock in the afternoon, 2 o'clock in the afternoon. So it wasn't exactly the most happening time to be here. But I would say, from my experience, the thing that I really enjoyed about Raleigh, aside from just the vibrance of the environment, just the way it feels to be there, the clean air, I would say the history is what really struck me about this place. Here we are in Moore Square. This here is a common area where people come to have lunch and conversate and come together right here in the heart of Raleigh. Now, another thing I wanted to also say about this Tri-City area, you have Raleigh, then you have Durham, and then you have Chapel Hill. So North Carolina State, Duke University, and University of North Carolina, all within this Tri-City area. So there you go. If you guys are college basketball fans, you know exactly what the rivalry between Duke University and UNC is all about. University of North Carolina, Chapel Hill, that's where Michael Jordan went. And if you're coming here with your kids, check out the Marbles Kids Museum. This road known as Hargett Street is also known as Black Main Street. They have history on the ground here. For example, Lightner Arcade and Hotel. They also have the pharmacy, first black-owned pharmacy. So this area here has African-American history right up and down here. That's why it's called Black Main Street. And one thing that I've been looking forward to since I've been on the road is a beard trim and a lineup, which I actually got lucky here and came across this barbershop and they hooked me right up. As you can see right here, I was just on the road for about 2 weeks and my beard kind of needed to be cleaned up, and I got lucky here. Yeah, so as you can see, I got lined up nicely. If you guys want to go over there, go see Charles right off that main street right there. And now we are headed over to the Capitol building. Well, Raleigh is actually the capital of North Carolina, but this is the old Capitol building here, so lots of history with Andrew Johnson, Andrew Jackson, and a few other men from history. All right, here we are at the Capitol building. You can see built in 1833 to 1840. And it was the first state capital of North Carolina. If you look right over here, there it is. Here you have a statue of three important men in the North Carolina history here. You have James Knox Polk. He helped enlarge the national boundaries for the United States. You have Andrew Jackson. He helped revitalize American democracy. And you have Andrew Johnson, who was born here in Raleigh, and he defended the Constitution. You can see right here they have the experimental railway, which they actually used horses to bring in granite to build this Capitol building. It was 1.25 miles long, in which they traveled to get the rock here from the quarry. Here we are at the Museum of North Carolina. It's actually a free museum, although donations are encouraged. If you should so want to, that's me encouraging you, not necessarily them. But inside that museum, you're going to get everything from statehood to the Civil War, what led up to the Civil War, North Carolina's position during the Civil War with what was occurring with the Union in the North, the northern states, Abraham Lincoln. That was an interesting history, and that alone really caught my attention because you learn so much. But also, if you go upstairs, there's the Hall of Fame with Michael Jordan and some other famous people who come from North Carolina. Now, I must say, this is one of my favorite museums I went across on this whole trek up and down the whole South. So this North Carolina History Museum is loaded with information, and I found it to be very interesting. I could have spent a couple hours here easily, so this is something that above all else is a must-see in North Carolina if you have any interest in history whatsoever. One of the things that I found interesting was the history of piracy on the coastal Carolina area with Blackbeard. They were telling a whole story about that, and I found that to be kind of interesting about the pirates. This whole little corridor here, you have North Carolina State Museum of Natural History, a couple museums, you have the old state capitol. Definitely recommend coming over here and spending a couple hours. And here is the State History Library. So if you guys want to get the archives of North Carolina, come right over here to the library. Here is the amendments of the United States Constitution, the Bill of Rights. And this here is the Executive Mansion. It was actually built in 1883 and completed in, I want to say, around 1890s time frame. So it did take a couple years to build this, but it was built by prison labor for the governor. Check out this Executive Mansion. And this whole area, you can actually see the mansions up close. You have the Hex Andrews house and several other of these mansions. We'll just walk around this area showing you some of these old early 1900s, late 1800 style mansions out here in Raleigh, North Carolina. Believe it or not, Raleigh is actually the second fastest growing metropolitan area in the nation. And from what I understand, it's the third fastest growing county right here where Raleigh is. Charlotte and Raleigh, very fast growing metropolitan areas in the United States. Infrastructure being built here by Google, Apple. So it is a tech hub right here in the heart of North Carolina. Raleigh is a very peaceful, quiet, serene, almost heavenly city, and it is quiet down here. With that being said, people are going to ask, is it safe? From my experience being down here, it was safe. So I haven't walked around at night, but during the daytime you can walk basically anywhere, listen to these birds chirping, all sorts of different variety of bird songs. It's a really peaceful town. This road here, known as Blunt Street, is Capital City Trail. So just take that all the way back into downtown from right here at Peace Street. It'll be good. So this here is William Peace University, one of many universities in this Tri-City area. Yeah, maybe by the time you guys get here, this here Freedom Park will be completed. It's a beacon of freedom. You can see they're going to put it in a memorial right here. So, Freedom Park. This here Episcopal Church right across the street from the actual old state capitol. Really a beautiful sight. Ramen, baby. This here is the M.T. Pope House. He is a historical national landmark because he was one of the first African-American licensed doctors. This here is the Lincoln Theater. You could see Abraham Lincoln inside that car. It looks like a Lincoln Town Car, I would assume, is what they're indicating, but that's the Lincoln Theater right there. It says 126. And right here at Litchin Plaza, you have Raleigh Memorial Auditorium right here. They have several different performing arts theaters in there, the Kennedy Theater, and a couple other theaters in here. So this is the main auditorium in town. You can see right here, General Grant arranged with General Sherman in April 24th through the 27th, 1865, to offer a new terms of surrender. So this was where the Confederate Army decided to surrender to General Grant. This here building that looks like it's underground with these vines and stuff growing on the side of it is the North Carolina Association of Educators building. But I thought it was a really cool looking building. I haven't seen a building like this before. And right here you have the Raleigh Convention Center. And also, as you know, the NHL hockey team, Carolina Hurricanes, are also from Raleigh. All right, Island Hoppers, that's a wrap from Raleigh, North Carolina. Check out our other video from Charlotte, and we are headed north up into Virginia and into DC, so do stay around for those videos. We'll see you guys on the next one.